Hey guys, what's up? It's Datastrain. We're going to be talking about my Dawless setup, which is the Elektron Digitakt and the SP404. And by the way, I want to wish a merry, happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate. It's been a busy holiday season. The 23rd was my birthday. Christmas Eve, Christmas, lots of family, lots of stuff. I tried getting videos done and I just couldn't, but now I'm getting it done. You're probably going to be watching this on December 26th because it's technically December 26th now. Hopefully it's not a little too late, and I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday season and are getting, ready to get back to normal life after this. So the reason why I like this setup is because they both kind of cover each other's strengths and weaknesses here. The SP404's got really long sampling times, great effects built in, but a poor sequencer. The Elektron Digitakt has a great sequencer, short sampling times, very few effects. It is mono sampling only, whereas the SP404 can do stereo sampling. And this is battery powered, this is not, and I'll show you why this is pretty awesome for this to be battery powered. So I have this beat here. And this is just a basic beat just to show you guys how the setup works. So what I'm doing here is I'm using the Digitakt as the drum machine and then using it to trigger samples from the SP so I don't have to sequence it on here. And the way we do this is going to be a very basic setup. You just need one MIDI cable to go from the MIDI out of the Digitakt to the MIDI in of the SP404. You're going to need 1/4 inch to RCA cables to run from the outputs of the Digitakt to the inputs of the SP404, so that way you can hear what's going on with both at the same time and use the real-time effects at the same time with this guy here. And then you want to make sure on the SP404 that you go to Shift and Pad 9, make sure you're on MIDI channel 1 using the 4th encoder, and then Shift and Pad 10, make sure it's set to auto again with the 4th encoder here. And then on the Digitakt, what we need to do is select a MIDI track right here, go to the source page. If you see these boxes crossed out with X's, hit function and then the appropriate encoder to set up the channels. We're going to be using MIDI channel 1 with this one, and I have this set up on a few different tracks here because I'm triggering different samples from different tracks essentially. And that's, for the most part, pretty much the setup. That should be able to let you play things chromatically from the SP404 itself. So let's say we go to track 1, or track number 9, and then we do function and track. If we play chromatically, it will let us trigger samples from here. One thing to note is that the SP404, the very first note in a group always starts with B. I don't know why, it seems kind of weird to me, but that's how they wanted it apparently. See, pad number 1, and I'm playing a B. I don't know why, it's just how it is. And then another thing too is that with the banks on the SP404, banks A through E are controlled by MIDI channel 1, banks F through J are controlled by MIDI channel 2. So if you want to get to the second banks using the keys here, you have to make sure that you are set to channel 2 instead of channel 1. So basically, I did like a really small sequence. So we're on track number 9. As you can see, I just kind of hit the sample one time. And that allows it to play through all the way. Unfortunately, one thing that you can't do with this is use trigger conditions on the MIDI channels. At least not from what I can see. It's kind of weird. I thought that you could, but I guess you can't. That was something that I was really excited to work with, but it's not available, I guess. But either way, I mean, this is still fantastic. This is a great setup. So the reason I like this setup the most is because I can take this SP, load some batteries up in it, and just take it wherever I want to go. And I can use my phone, I can use the built-in microphone, an external microphone, sample a bunch of things that are not readily available to me in my environment, and then bring them back to the studio, and then use the SP404 with the Digitakt to trigger those samples and arrange them into a beat without being limited by the SP404's pattern sequencer. And the fact that you get all the dope effects in here, it really makes live performance super easy, and this is a very compact setup. I mean, the Digitakt itself is one of the smallest boxes I've ever seen, and the SP404 is almost light as a feather. So bringing these two somewhere to jam is really not unfeasible, aside from the Digitakt needing a power supply. But I've seen a lot of people use battery packs to great success with that. So I mean, it's really really crazy. Honestly, it's such a dope setup. So let's say with this example, I have the Digitakt doing drums, right? And then I've got the MIDI channels doing that. How do I get the effects onto the drum track? So essentially, you're going to hit the external source button, because if I hit play here, you'll notice no drums are playing, and that's because this button is not letting the Digitakt's audio through. And now it is. Now, if we want to make sure that our effects are reaching everything, hold the remain button, and every button that is lit up will be affected by the sound. So let's say if I turn all these off here, and I go to use the effect, nothing's really happening that much. But then if I hold remain down again, and I light all these pads back up, or whichever pads I might be using, now I can trigger those effects, and it affects the Digitakt at the same time. So that is one of the pluses to this. One of my favorite things too is the fact that I can use this to actually create stereo samples. So on these tracks here, I have the same sample on these 4 different tracks, and I have them tuned differently. So if we go to trig, this one is on, it looks like D sharp, this one's on G, this one's on A sharp, and then this one's on D, making a nice chord. So what we can do is, for one, go to the amp page, and I'm just going to pan these guys around a little bit. That's the bass note. I'm going to leave that where it's at. This one I'll pan a little to the left, this one a little to the right, one a little further right, and now it makes it sound like a really full chord, and we can take this and just record it directly into the SP. So we'll go to an empty bank E, to make sure it's empty. Yep, that is empty. Double checking. So we can record right here, and then we can just sample the chord. So now we have a stereo sample with which we can trigger directly from the Digitakt itself, and then we can even use this to record that output, or even record the track itself. And that's another thing too. I love using this thing as a tape recorder, for just tape, generally recording down ideas. So let's go ahead and we'll hit the, let's do the resample button, and we'll resample to right here. Or no, not resample, just record. So we'll record that. It's gonna wait for our input. And that's just the way that you can, build up live sets, and you don't even have to take this guy out anywhere. So not only can you build chords, you can build live sets, you can record your performances. It's pretty fucking wacky, to be real. And it's just such a neat workflow to have. I mean, they really complement each other beautifully. I'm trying to think of other things you can do with it, but I mean, even that by itself is just plenty. Like that keeps me busy for hours and hours and hours. And like I said, the real benefits to this is that they're compact. It's feature packed also with this, so you can use the trigger conditions from the Elektron from the Digitakt to make crazy drum sequences and pattern changes and everything. And that's another thing too, is that with the SP404, its patterns are locked to a tempo, whereas the Digitakt, it's not. Each pattern can have an individual BPM and tempo, which means that whatever you play from here will also be played at the pattern's individual tempo and pattern. So in a way, they're both kind of workarounds for each other, if that makes any sense. And it's just a beautifully fun setup. I mean, I have loads of fun working with this. It's great. The Digitakt's got awesome effects built in too, and then the recording automation. One of the biggest downsides to this is that the SP404's effects and everything are not MIDI controllable, at least not from what I can tell. All it really does is sync everything up to the main clock that's being sent into it. But yeah, I mean, for a Dawless setup, I really can't ask for much more. I do have an Ovation circuit that I occasionally throw into the mix, but honestly, right now I've just been focusing on sampling because I'm really not great at it, and I want to get better, and I want to sample myself and other people, and this seemed like the best way to really go about it. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I should mention about this that would really make it, that would really help out. No, nothing I can really think of aside from just different techniques, you know, just like resampling like we did with the chord here, or, you know, just sampling different ideas to feed back and forth between the two, and then you can use the sequencing and the parameter locking to really fuck up and mangle samples with the Elektron and then send it right back to the SP. There's so many possibilities, and this is great for all different types of genres, whether you're doing, you know, like hip-hop, you know, dance music, techno, lo-fi, whatever you might be working on. These two are a really crazy force. Add in a synth or like some kind of like rompler, a sampler that can do like multi-samples into this, and you'll be flying. It's like unlimited creation and loads of fun to work with together. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I can't really think of anything else to add to this. I'm also mad tired. You know, as imagine everyone else is. It's been a busy holiday. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video wasn't shitty. I hope I wasn't all over the place. I hope you got an idea of how crazy these two are together and how just wonderfully functional this is. These two are as a team. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking around for this last year. You know, that's for my first actual year of really trying on YouTube. This has been very successful in my opinion. You know, I'm almost at 600 subscribers, and that's without, you know, having a consistent upload schedule or a consistent, you know, upload date or anything like that. You know, if you enjoy my videos, please consider liking, subscribing, becoming a patron on Patreon. Anything you guys do highly benefits the channel, and you know, and I can come out bigger and better videos. If there's any specifics about this setup that you really want to know, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. Also check out Enrique Martinez. He does a lot of videos with these two. I'm not sure if he covered both at any time, but more than likely he has. Also, Chris Galactic is another great resource for finding, you know, tips, tricks, setups on hardware samplers of all different types, whether they be old or new. And you can find some great techniques from those guys as well. I really respect them. They're fantastic. And yeah, hopefully this new year will bring in better things for everybody. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for better opportunities. I'm hoping to really meet some people, connect with some people. I'm hoping to take my music and my art to the next level. I'm hoping to really find my place in the industry this time and really get something done. And I hope to bring you guys along the way, and I hope I can help you guys out in reaching you know, your goals and your aspirations when it comes to music creation and you know, purchases and whatnot. So again, this has been Datastrain. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful new year and everything, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Take care.